How did we end up here with the news that there have been 3 disqualifications from the Chinese Grand Prix, 2 for cars being underweight and 1 for excessive plank wear? Thankfully, Ferrari have put out a statement of what they believe occurred. For Charles's case of being underweight, they're thinking it's because they switched him from a 2-stop strategy to a 1-stop, and his last stint of tires were more worn down than they were expecting. Because of that, it weighed less. Now, drivers can try and combat that by, on their in-lap, once the race is over and they're heading towards the pits, driving over the marbles, the chunks of rubber that are left on the track. Sometimes that can put you over the weight limit, and sometimes it's still not enough. In Lewis's case, the excessive plank wear was described as a miscalculation. There's a plank along the bottom of the car that looks like it's made of wood, but it is not, and it also has some skid plates which are made out of metal. Throughout the race, these can hit down against the track's surface and wear down, which is also where you're going to be seeing some of those sparks that the cars make. Now, teams want to get a good ride height where they're going low enough that they can get great downforce. But if they go too low, they're going to wear out their plank more than they're allowed to. So they have to raise up the ride height. And in Lewis's case, they did change the car setup between the sprint and qualifying, and that seems to be where things went a little bit awry. Alpine haven't put out a statement of why they think their car ended up being underweight, so we might just have to wait until Japan for journalists to ask some good follow-up questions. Common causes, of course, for a car being underweight are, as previously mentioned, tire wear, plank wear, and a driver sweating more than they were expecting and losing water weight. But it wasn't particularly hot, so unless Gasly was fighting an illness we weren't aware of, that one might be off the table as well, but in all likelihood it was just a miscalculation on Alpine's end. Because of their design, sprint weekends are always going to be more likely to have situations like this. There was a single free practice, a single hour for teams to get as much information as possible, and in the case of this particular weekend, there were the added wrenches of it being close to the start of the season, so teams don't have a lot of tire data for these new versions of these compounds, and of course the track was fully resurfaced, so it's a completely new environment for teams to get used to. If there are any further questions about the situation, please do let me know, or just scrutineering in general, because it's a fascinating topic that I love to talk about.